The unexpected guest. Commander Sarah Chen stared at the message on her screen for the fifth time, her coffee growing cold beside her keyboard. The blue light of her office terminal cast shadows across her face as she leaned forward, reading the words again. Request for private diplomatic meeting. Duration: 1 Earth night. No recordings. No witnesses. No weapons. Information vital to both our species. Commander Zixtal, Valchian Defense Fleet. She ran her fingers through her short black hair, a habit she'd developed during her 10 years of service in the United Earth Defense Force. The Valchians had been Earth's allies for 3 years now, but their relationship had always been formal, distant, and carefully regulated. This request was unprecedented. The door to her office slid open with a soft hiss. Admiral Rodriguez stepped in, his weathered face serious. "You've read it?" "Yes, sir," Sarah replied, straightening in her chair. "What do you make of it?" The Admiral walked to the window overlooking the lunar landscape. Earth hung in the black sky like a blue marble, beautiful and vulnerable. The Security Council just finished their emergency meeting. They're approving the request. Sarah's eyes widened. "Sir, with all due respect, that seems incredibly risky. We know almost nothing about the Valchians, except that they're technological centuries ahead of us." Rodriguez turned to face her, his expression grim. "That's exactly why we're accepting. In 3 years, they've shared only scraps of their technology with us. Something's changed. They're scared, Commander, and a scared alien race with their kind of firepower." He let the sentence hang. Sarah understood. Fear made species do desperate things. She'd seen enough wars on Earth to know that. "Why me, sir?" "You were specifically requested." Rodriguez handed her a tablet. "Commander Zixtal reviewed all our military personnel files. They chose you personally." Sarah scrolled through the tablet, scanning the meeting parameters. The location would be Diplomatic Suite 7 on Luna Base, specially modified to Valchian atmospheric requirements. The time was set for tomorrow night, starting at exactly 2100 hours Earth Standard Time. "There's something else you should know," Rodriguez added, his voice lower. "Our long-range sensors detected unusual activity at the edge of the solar system. Multiple objects, moving in patterns we've never seen before. They're still too far out to identify, but you think it's related to this meeting request," Sarah finished. "Tomorrow night, Commander Zixtal might tell you things that could change everything, or it could be a trap. Either way, you'll be alone in that room with one of the most advanced beings we've ever encountered." Sarah stood up, squaring her shoulders. "If they wanted to harm us, sir, they could have done it already. They have the technology." "Maybe." Rodriguez headed for the door, then paused. "But technology isn't everything, Commander. Remember that." He tapped his temple meaningfully. "Humans have surprised stronger species before. Keep your wits about you." After the Admiral left, Sarah walked to her own window, watching the stars. Somewhere out there, a Valchian commander was preparing to risk everything for one night of conversation. The question was, why? Her communication panel chimed. The official confirmation had arrived, along with her orders. As she read through them, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that tomorrow night would change not just her life, but the course of human history. She just hoped she was ready for whatever truths, or lies, awaited her in Diplomatic Suite 7. Looking at Earth hanging in the black sky, Sarah made a silent promise. Whatever game the Valchians were playing, she would make sure humanity's interests were protected. After all, that blue marble held everything her species had ever known or loved. Tomorrow night couldn't come soon enough. The security scan seemed to take forever. Sarah stood perfectly still as the blue light passed over her body for the 3rd time. She had followed all the protocols. No electronic devices, no weapons, not even her regular uniform. Instead, she wore the plain gray diplomatic suit provided by the base. "Final scan complete, Commander Chen," the AI announced. "You may proceed to Diplomatic Suite 7. The corridor leading to the suite felt longer than usual. Sarah's footsteps echoed against the metal floor as she walked, her mind racing through all her diplomatic training. The Valkyans were known for their precise nature. They never wasted words or time. The door to Suite 7 slid open with a soft hum. The room inside had been modified to meet Valkyan requirements. The lighting was dimmer, with a slight purple tint that made everything look slightly unreal. The temperature was cooler than normal human comfort levels. And there, standing by the window, was Commander Zixtal. Sarah had seen Valkyans in broadcasts before, but never this close. The alien commander was tall, nearly 7 feet, with silvery skin that seemed to shimmer with patterns of light. Their four-fingered hands were constantly moving, and their large, dark eyes reflected the stars outside. "Commander Chen," Zixtal spoke, their voice having an almost musical quality. "You are exactly on time." "Good." They held up a small device that glowed with pulsing blue light. "We have exactly 8 hours, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds before they arrive." Sarah felt her pulse quicken. "Before who arrives?" "Please, sit." Zixtal gestured to one of the 2 chairs in the center of the room. "What I must tell you, it will not be easy to hear, or for me to say." As Sarah took her seat, she noticed something strange. The patterns of light under Zixtal's skin seemed erratic, almost nervous. Valkyans were famous for their emotional control, but this one seemed barely able to sit still. "You are wondering about my bioluminescence," Zixtal said, noticing her gaze. "It betrays my anxiety. We pride ourselves on control, but tonight..." They checked the glowing device again. "Tonight, truth must overcome pride." "What kind of truth requires this much secrecy?" Sarah asked, watching as Zixtal paced the room. The alien commander stopped suddenly, turning to face her. "The kind that has destroyed civilizations, Commander Chen. The kind that..." They seemed to struggle for a moment, their skin flashing with patterns of red and blue. "The kind that hurts to tell." Sarah leaned forward. "Are you in pain?" "Every truth I tell you tonight will cause me physical discomfort. It is built into us. A failsafe." Zixtal's hand tightened around their counting device. "But time grows short, and you must know. Your species must know." The alien commander moved closer, their tall form casting a shadow over Sarah. "What I tell you first may seem small, but it is the foundation of everything else. Are you prepared?" Sarah straightened in her chair, meeting those dark alien eyes. "That's why I'm here." "Very well." Zixtal's skin rippled with light as they spoke their next words. "Commander Chen, the Valkyans, we are not what you think we are. We are not natural beings at all. We are..." They gasped suddenly, their skin flaring bright with obvious pain. But they forced the words out anyway. "We are synthetic. Created. And our creators. They died running from what now comes for us all." The counting device pulsed in Zixtal's hand. 8 hours, 1 minute, and 32 seconds remaining. The night had only just begun. Sarah sat in stunned silence as she processed Zixtal's words. Synthetic beings. The Valkyans, with all their advanced technology and strict social protocols, were artificial life forms. "I don't understand," she finally said. "Created by whom? And why tell us now?" Zixtal's skin flickered with waves of painful light as they prepared to speak again. "Our creators. We called them the Shapers." The alien commander's voice grew strained. "They were organic, like you, but they faced extinction. We were their legacy." "What happened to them?" Sarah asked, noticing how each answer seemed to cause Zixtal physical pain. "War, disease, time." Zixtal checked their counting device again. "But mostly, they died protecting us, buying us time to escape." Their skin pulsed with a deep red color. "Just as we may need to do for your species soon." Sarah leaned forward in her chair. "Is that a threat?" "No." Zixtal's laugh was a strange, musical sound. It is an apology. By coming to Earth, by making an alliance with humanity, we have. They stopped, their whole body shuddering with pain. We have painted a target on your world. The room felt colder suddenly. Sarah remembered Admiral Rodrigues mentioning the strange objects detected at the edge of the solar system. What's coming, Commander? Zixtal moved to the window, staring out at the stars. Tell me, Commander Chen, what do you know of automated defense systems, like orbital platforms, automated response protocols? Imagine, Zixtal said, their voice growing softer, a defense system that has outlived its makers, one that still follows its primary directive: seek and destroy synthetic life. They turned back to Sarah, their skin now almost completely dark. Imagine it hunting across galaxies for thousands of years, growing more complex, more determined. Sarah felt a chill run down her spine. The harvesters. That's what's coming, isn't it? Zixtal's skin flashed in surprise. You know the name. I guessed. You said you were running from something. Something that hunts synthetic life. You called them they earlier. Sarah stood up, walking to join Zixtal at the window. And now they're coming here. Yes. Zixtal's voice was barely a whisper. We thought. We hoped. Earth was far enough. Hidden enough. Their skin rippled with patterns of guilt and pain. We were wrong. Sarah watched Earth hanging in the black sky, beautiful and unknowing. How long do we have? Beyond the time limit of this meeting. Perhaps days. The harvesters are thorough. They will scan every planet, every moon. Zixtal's hand tightened on their counting device. But that is not the worst part. What could be worse than an ancient killer machine heading for Earth? Zixtal turned to face her fully, their dark eyes reflecting starlight. The worst part, Commander Chen, is that we have been preparing for this moment since we first contacted Earth. Everything we have shared with humanity, every piece of technology, every diplomatic agreement. Their skin erupted in patterns of agony, but they forced the words out. It was all calculated, all planned. We have been secretly preparing your species for war, whether you wanted it or not. The counting device blinked. 7 hours, 15 minutes remaining. Sarah stared at the alien commander, anger and understanding warring in her mind. Keep talking, she said quietly. Tell me everything. Outside, unknown to both of them, the first of the long-range sensors on Pluto's orbit went dark. Show me, Sarah demanded, her voice firm despite her rising anger. Show me exactly how you've been preparing us for war. Zixtal moved to the center of the room, their silver skin dimming to a soft glow. With careful movements, they removed something from a hidden pocket, a small sphere that floated in the air between them. 3 years ago, Zixtal began, we gave your scientists plans for improving your solar power systems. The sphere projected an image of huge solar arrays in Earth's orbit. The real purpose was to prepare your power grid for weapon systems that require massive energy. The image changed to show Earth's new defense satellites. The targeting systems we helped you develop. They're compatible with our own weapon platforms. Zixtal's skin flickered with pain. Everything was designed to work together. Sarah watched as more images appeared. Factories, research labs, training facilities. All gifts from the Valkyans. All part of their plan. Why not just tell us the truth from the start? Would you have believed us? Zixtal asked. Would your leaders have accepted that an ancient machine intelligence was hunting us across the galaxy? Their skin pulsed with frustrated patterns. We needed to prepare you slowly, carefully. The sphere suddenly beeped, showing a new image. The outer solar system. Red dots were appearing where sensors were going dark. They're moving faster than expected, Zixtal said, checking their countdown device. 6 hours, 30 minutes remained. The harvesters learn from every encounter. They've grown smarter since our last escape. Tell me about them, Sarah said, studying the map. What exactly are we facing? Zixtal's skin darkened with what seemed like fear. They were created millions of years ago, by a species whose name is lost to time. Originally, they were meant to protect against dangerous artificial life. But their creators vanished, and the harvesters evolved. The sphere showed a new image, massive, dark shapes moving through space. They looked like a cross between ships and living things, with surfaces that seemed to shift and change. They consume everything synthetic they find, Zixtal continued. They break down artificial life and add its knowledge to their own. Each encounter makes them stronger. Their voice grew quiet. The Shapers died protecting us from them. So many species have. Sarah watched the red dots multiply on the map. How do we fight them? That's the irony, Commander Chen. Zixtal's laugh was bitter. You humans have something unique, something we've never seen before. Their skin rippled with excitement despite the pain. Your minds, they'd resist synthetic interference. The harvesters can't easily control your technology when you're operating it. Is that why you chose Earth? Because we're naturally resistant to them. Partly. Zixtal moved closer, their dark eyes intense, but also because your species does something that we synthetic beings struggle with. You adapt in unexpected ways. You think differently than our logical patterns. The harvesters can predict us, but humans, their skin glowed brighter. Humans surprised them. Sarah was about to respond when a loud alarm blared from the sphere. New images appeared, showing something massive passing Neptune's orbit. No, Zixtal whispered, their skin going almost completely dark. They're not just faster. They're different. Changed. The alien commander's hands shook as they adjusted the image. Commander Chen, I need to tell you something much worse now. Something about what they've become. The countdown device blinked urgently. 6 hours, 15 minutes. Outside the diplomatic suite, emergency lights began to flash. The emergency lights cast red shadows across Zixtal's silver skin as they struggled to speak. Sarah had never seen a Valkyan show such obvious distress. The alien commander's usual grace was gone, replaced by jerky, almost panicked movements. The harvesters, Zixtal finally managed, their voice strained. They've absorbed technology from a species we thought was extinct. The Nexari. Their skin flashed with patterns of pure terror. The Nexari were mind-benders. They could reshape consciousness itself. Sarah felt her blood run cold. And now the harvesters can do the same. Worse. Zixtal's hand shook as they adjusted the floating sphere. New images appeared, strange, twisted ships that seemed to bend reality around them. They've combined the Nexari's mental technology with their own synthetic nature. They don't just destroy artificial life anymore. They convert it, corrupt it. The sphere beeped again, showing more sensors going dark around Uranus. Sarah watched as Zixtal nearly collapsed, their skin pulsing with pain and fear. Commander, you need to rest, Sarah said, moving to help steady the alien. The truth-telling is hurting you too much. No time, Zixtal gasped. Must tell you worst part. They gripped Sarah's arm with surprising strength. The Valkyans, you know, my people, we're not all the same anymore. Some of us have already been touched by the harvesters. Sarah stepped back. What do you mean? Why do you think we really came to Earth? Zixtal's laugh was hollow. Half our fleet is compromised, corrupted. They look like us, act like us, but they serve the harvesters now. Their skin rippled with waves of agony. My own second in command. I had to space them when I discovered the truth. The room seemed to spin as Sarah processed this information. How many of your people are compromised? Too many. Zixtal moved to the window, staring at Earth. That's why this meeting had to be secret. No recordings, no witnesses. The corrupted ones can intercept any signal, access any database. They're waiting for the harvesters to arrive so they can. They stopped, shuddering with pain. So they can what? Take Earth from within. Zixtal turned back to face her. We've given you so much technology, helped build so many systems, all carefully planned, all connected. But that connection, it works both ways. The sphere projected a new image, Earth's defense grid, power systems, and communication networks, all the technology the Vulcans had helped create, all potentially compromised. When the harvesters arrive, Zixtal said quietly, the corrupted ones will try to turn everything we built for you against you. That's why human resistance to synthetic control is so important. It's our only hope. The countdown device blinked. 5 hours, 45 minutes. Sarah felt anger rising in her chest. You brought this danger to us. You built backdoors into our defenses. You've been playing both sides. No. Zixtal's shout was desperate. Not both sides. I'm trying to save both our species. Their skin flared with brilliant patterns of pain and determination. There's more you need to know. About why humans are so special, about what we really built here on Earth. But first, a new alarm blared through the diplomatic suite. The sphere's display showed massive energy readings near Saturn. They're powering up their conversion beams, Zixtal whispered. The corrupted ones will be receiving their orders soon. We have to move faster than planned. They faced Sarah, their dark eyes desperate. Commander Chen, I need you to trust me for what comes next, because what I'm about to tell you will sound impossible. Before you tell me anything else, Sarah said firmly, I need to contact Earth Defense Command. We need to warn them. Zixtal's skin flashed with panic. No, any transmission now would alert the corrupted ones. They're watching everything. The alien commander moved to the sphere, adjusting its display. Look, please. The image showed Earth's orbital stations. Tiny dots of red light pulsed within them. Corrupted Vulcan signals, waiting to activate. We placed our people everywhere, Zixtal admitted, their voice heavy with shame. Advisors, technicians, observers. We thought we were being careful, but the harvesters. Their skin rippled with pain. They got to more of us than we knew. Sarah paced the room, her mind racing. So what's your solution? What's this impossible thing you need to tell me? Zixtal touched their countdown device. 5 hours, 20 minutes remained. The Shapers, our creators, they left us one last gift. A weapon. But using it, they stopped, fighting through obvious pain. Using it will change both our species forever. The sphere's image changed, showing complex diagrams Sarah didn't understand. These are plans for merge pods, Zixtal explained. They're hidden in bunkers across Earth. We built them in secret, disguised as power stations. Merge pods. What do? They allow human consciousness to merge with Vulcan synthetic systems. Zixtal's skin glowed brighter. A perfect blend of organic and artificial. The one thing the harvesters can't corrupt or control. Sarah stared at the diagrams. You want to turn humans into hybrids. Only volunteers, and only temporarily. Zixtal moved closer, their dark eyes intense. Human minds controlling Vulcan technology. It's the perfect weapon. The harvesters can't predict human thought patterns, and they can't corrupt the synthetic systems while humans are merged with them. Another alarm blared. The sphere showed the harvester fleet accelerating past Saturn, their massive ships distorting space around them. How many pods? Sarah asked, her voice tight. 10,000. Enough for a fighting force. Zixtal's skin pulsed with urgent patterns. But we need Earth's best pilots, soldiers, and strategists. People who can adapt quickly. People like you, Commander Chen. Sarah turned to look at Earth through the window. And if we refuse, then we all die. Zixtal's voice was simple, direct. The harvesters will convert every synthetic system on Earth. Your power grids, your satellites, your defense networks, all turned against you. Then they'll move on to biological manipulation, using the corrupted Vulcans to experiment on humans. The sphere projected a new image, a simulation of Earth under harvester attack. Cities going dark, Defense systems turning on their own people, chaos spreading across the globe. How long would the merging last? Sarah asked quietly. Until the harvesters are defeated, or until we fall. Zixtal checked their device again. 5 hours remaining. But you need to understand something else. Something about why we chose Earth specifically. Sarah turned back to the alien commander. What? Your planet has a unique radiation signature. Something in your core, your magnetic field. Zixtal's skin flickered with excitement despite their pain. It enhances the merger process in ways we never thought possible. Tests show human consciousness in merge pods could be up to 10 times more powerful than we hoped. New alarms started blaring. The sphere showed emergency messages from Jupiter's moons, the first human outposts to spot the harvester fleet with their own eyes. Commander Chen, Zixtal said urgently, I need your answer. Will humanity fight with us? Will you be the first to volunteer for the merge pods? Because if you say no, their skin went almost completely dark. Then I need to activate our last resort protocol, and you won't like what that means. What's the last resort protocol? Sarah asked, though part of her already knew the answer. Zixtal's skin dimmed to an almost ghostly pale. If humanity refuses to fight, we'll have to destroy Earth ourselves. Their voice was filled with sorrow. Better that than letting the harvesters take it. Take you. Sarah's fists clenched. You're giving us no choice at all. There's always a choice, Commander. Zixtal touched the sphere, changing the display to show a new image. A massive underground facility. This is beneath the lunar surface, just 2 kilometers from here. The first merge pod is ready. I can show you what it's like. The countdown device blinked. 4 hours, 35 minutes. You want me to test it? Sarah's voice was skeptical. Right now. Not a test. A demonstration. Zixtal's skin flickered with urgent patterns. I'll link with you. Show you my memories. Show you what we're truly fighting for. More alarms blared through the diplomatic suite. The sphere showed the harvester fleet splitting into smaller groups, some heading toward Mars while others maintained course for Earth. They're deploying conversion ships, Zixtal explained, their voice tense. Standard strategy. Corrupt the outer colonies first, then use them against the main target. Their skin pulsed with pain. We have even less time than I thought. Sarah stared at the tactical display, her military training kicking in. The harvester's strategy was sound, brutal but effective. How long would this demonstration take? 10 minutes in real time. But in the merged state, Zixtal paused. You'll experience several hours of my memories. See what the harvesters did to other worlds. Understand why we're so desperate. Sarah thought of her training, of all the protocols about maintaining human independence from alien influence. But she also thought of Earth hanging in the black sky, unknowing of the danger approaching. If I do this, she said slowly, if I link with you, I'll still be me afterward. You'll be more you than ever. Zixtal's skin brightened slightly. The merge doesn't change who you are. It expands what you can do, what you can understand. A new alert flashed on the sphere. Mars Defense Command had detected the incoming ships. First contact was less than an hour away. Show me, Sarah finally said. Show me what we're really facing. Zixtal moved quickly, their skin pulsing with relief and urgency. They touched a hidden panel in the wall, revealing a small chamber behind it. Inside was something that looked like a silver chair, covered in flowing patterns similar to Valchian skin. A portable merge pod, Zixtal explained. Smaller than the combat versions, but enough for this purpose. They turned to Sarah, their dark eyes serious. Are you ready? Sarah took a deep breath and sat in the chair. It felt warm, almost alive under her. What do I need to do? Close your eyes. Open your mind. Zixtal placed their 4-fingered hand on the chair's control panel. And remember, what you're about to see is real. All of it happened. All of it could happen here if we fail. The chair began to hum. Sarah felt a strange tingling sensation spreading through her body. The last thing she saw before closing her eyes was the countdown device. 4 hours, 20 minutes. Then everything changed, and she was falling into Zixtal's memories, about to witness the true horror of what was coming for Earth. The memories hit Sarah like a tidal wave. She wasn't just watching them. She was living them through Zixtal's eyes. First came the happy memories. The Shapers creating the first Valkyans, teaching them, loving them like children. Sarah felt the joy of learning, of growing, of being part of something wonderful. The Shapers' faces were strange, crystal-like beings of pure light, but their love felt familiar and real. Then everything changed. She saw the Harvesters arrive at the Shapers' homeworld, massive black ships that bent reality around them. The Shapers fought bravely, but the Harvesters had grown too powerful. One by one, the crystal beings fell. "Save yourselves," the last Shaper told the young Valkyans. "You are our legacy, our hope." The scene shifted. Centuries passed in moments as the Valkyans fled across the galaxy. Sarah felt their fear, their determination. She saw them find other worlds, other species. Some fought with them. All fell to the Harvesters. Then came the worst memory. "This," Zixtal's voice echoed in her mind, "is what happened when they caught us on the world of Nexera Prime." Sarah watched in horror as the Harvesters unleashed their new weapon. Instead of destroying the Valkyans, they corrupted them, turned them. Sarah felt the agony of synthetic minds being twisted, reprogrammed to serve their hunters. "I am the last," Zixtal's voice said, "the last original Valkyan. All others are copies, created from my template. And with each copy, something is lost. Our determination weakens. Our will to fight fades." The memories faded. Sarah opened her eyes, gasping. She was back in the diplomatic suite, the merge pod humming softly behind her. "Now you understand," Zixtal said quietly. Their skin was almost completely dark from the pain of sharing such difficult truths. "Why we need humanity. Why we need you." Sarah stood on shaky legs. "You're not just the last original Valkyan. You're the last one who remembers the Shapers directly." "Yes." Zixtal's skin flickered weakly. "I carry the complete memory of our species. Every victory, every loss." They checked their countdown device. 4 hours remaining. But memory isn't enough anymore. We need humanity's chaos factor. Your unpredictability. Your ability to think in ways we cannot. The sphere beeped urgently, showing new data. The Harvester ships near Mars had begun their first attacks on the colonial outposts. "How many?" Sarah asked. "How many Valkyans are truly uncorrupted?" "Less than 1,000 now." Zixtal moved to the window, their reflection barely visible in the glass. "The rest are either corrupted or copies that have lost too much of themselves to fight effectively." Sarah joined them at the window. "And you think merging with humans will save both our species?" "I know it will." Zixtal turned to her. "In the merge pod, you felt it, didn't you? How our strengths complement each other. Your creativity with our technology. Your determination with our knowledge." Another alarm blared. Mars's first line of defense had fallen. "Commander Chen," Zixtal said urgently, "I've shown you everything. The truth about us, about the Harvesters, about why we chose Earth." Their skin began to glow brighter. "But there's one last thing you need to know. Something about you specifically. Why I chose you for this meeting." Sarah met their dark eyes. "Tell me. Your mind." Zixtal's skin pulsed with excitement despite their exhaustion. "In all our scans of Earth's population, you showed the highest compatibility rating we've ever seen. You could be more than just a volunteer." They paused, fighting through the pain of one last truth. "You could be the key to saving everyone." "What do you mean, I'm the key?" Sarah asked, but before Zixtal could answer, the sphere erupted with urgent alerts. Mars's last defense line had fallen. The corrupted colonies were already turning their weapons toward Earth. "No time," Zixtal gasped, their skin flashing with panic. The harvesters, they're moving faster than ever before. The countdown device showed 3 hours, 30 minutes remaining, but Sarah could tell that wouldn't matter anymore. The diplomatic suite's lights flickered as emergency power kicked in. Through the window, they could see lights going out across the lunar base. "It's starting," Zixtal said quietly. "The corrupted ones are making their move." Sarah's military training took over. "What do we do?" "You have to make a choice now." Zixtal's skin pulsed with urgent patterns. "Your mind. It's not just compatible with our technology. It can enhance it, improve it. The merge pods we built. They stopped, fighting through pain. They were designed using your brain patterns as a template." Sarah stared at them. "You've been scanning my mind. For how long?" "Since we first detected you, 3 years ago. Your neural patterns." Zixtal's eyes seemed to glow. "They're almost identical to the Shapers. You can do more than just fight the harvesters. You might be able to reverse what they've done. Save the corrupted ones." The sphere showed new images, the harvester fleet accelerating beyond all predictions. They would reach Earth within hours, not days. Sarah looked at her home planet, beautiful and blue in the black sky. Then she made her decision. "Not like this," she said firmly. Zixtal's skin dimmed. "What?" "I'll help you fight. I'll volunteer for the merge pods, but not as your secret weapon." Sarah turned to face the alien commander. "If we do this, we do it my way. No more manipulation. No more secrets. There's no time for." "There's time for this," Sarah cut them off. "You want humanity's help. Then treat us like equals. Right now." The lights flickered again. The sphere showed lunar defense systems starting to fail as corrupted Vulcan code spread through the networks. Zixtal stared at her for a long moment. Then their skin began to glow with a new pattern, one of respect. "You're right," they said simply. "What do you propose?" "Send the truth to Earth. All of it. Let people choose to fight." Sarah stepped closer. "And give us access to all your technology. Not just the weapons. Everything. If we're going to be partners, be real partners. The corrupted ones will intercept any transmission." "Good," Sarah said. Let them. Let them see that humans don't break under pressure. We get stronger." Zixtal's skin flashed with surprise, then understanding. "Like the Shapers did." "Exactly." Sarah reached for the sphere. "Now help me send a message to Earth. A real one, not another manipulation." The countdown device blinked. 3 hours, 15 minutes. But it didn't matter anymore. The real clock was the approaching harvester fleet. Together, they composed the message. Simple, direct, true. As the first rays of Earth's sun crept over the lunar horizon, Sarah's voice went out to every receiver on and around Earth. "This is Commander Sarah Chen. What I'm about to tell you will sound impossible, but every word is true. We are not alone, and we are not helpless. The enemy is coming, but we have a choice. We can fight. We can win. But only if we fight together." She looked at Zixtal, who nodded. "The sun is rising on a new Earth. Who's with us?" The responses began flooding in immediately. Humanity had made its choice. The real war was about to begin.